What is up, guys? BboneCapone back with another live game review, critique, whatever you want to call it. We're looking at silver to bronze elo area today, so around 23, or sorry, not 23, about 18, like I'm gonna say like 16, 1700, somewhere in that range, because I do see a bronze and a silver. This is placement games, so I don't know the exact number, but it's in that area. So a little bit lower than what we're used to. We're going over D.VA today. And honestly, D.VA right now, guys, is ridiculously strong. D.VA is unreal right now. And if you want to get good with a new tank, D.VA is definitely someone I'd suggest. So one thing I've already started to understand, I got sent about, this guy sent me about 4 or 5 games, so I looked through all of them just to kind of get a feel for what it's like, because I haven't actually been at this elo, so I didn't really know what to expect. So this is actually pretty standard, where you get 4 DPS, 1 healer, 1 tank. So it does happen. And one thing I'm going to say at the start, guys, is that if there's one thing I've learned so far in watching these and everything, is that at this level, yes, it's a team game, but individually you can do a lot, because there's not a lot of coordination on the team, and there isn't going to be. So when you get into games, especially at this low, where everyone's kind of doing their own thing, like you have 4 DPS, 1 tank, 1 healer, it does suck. Like, this really does suck. As you get higher, obviously you want to have more consistent team comps, but I'm going to focus a lot on the mechanics and what he can do better individually. One other thing I'm going to say about this video, and I'm going to say this now, I'm probably going to say it again, but I do not believe in talking about your tracking whenever I review games for anyone, because tracking is not something that I can help you get better at. Tracking is something that's going to come with time, and that the more you play, you're going to get better at as you play. So right off the bat, you need to use your defense matrix. Was really odd there. You went through over 3/4 of your defense matrix for nothing really getting blocked with it. So you need to be a little more conservative, and that you're actually going to block some damage with it. I'm okay with you poking up like this is D.VA, especially when you have some defense matrix up. Once you're on the corner, you need to drop it a little sooner. Use the actual defense matrix when it's in front. But this is the problem with pushing up that far, is that you are going to get seen. You can get hit in the back, so you want to fight at this choke. You want them to try and push into this choke, and this is where you want to fight. Super greedy play here, and guys, never chase kills. Never go deep to try and get a kill, because then you're going to die and put your team at disadvantage. Even if you get it when you're defending, you're still going to be at disadvantage because of spawns. So you want to never chase kills. Like, focus on making them come to you and get kills without getting too out of position or over aggressive. So off the bat here, looking at the kill feed, your entire team has died other than 2 people. 1 person. Now there's only 1 person left. Don't even try and contest now right now, because guess what, guys? Contesting right now is, you're just feeding them ult charge. You're not going to do anything. You might delay for like a second or 2, but not enough to make a difference. So you need to focus on not feeding ult charge now. This point's lost. You can't do anything about it, because you're just feeding ult charge to the other team so that they can snowball possibly. So you end up dying. I was kind of expecting that when I saw you dive in, but that's okay. So you want to reset, and you want to try and be as a team here. And I know it's hard at this levels, guys. I know it sucks. I know it's tough. I get that. But you want to try and work with your team as much as you can. It's not always going to happen, but you want to try. Once again, no voice in this game, guys, because there was absolutely 0 communication at all in this game. So I didn't even bother having the sound on, because it's not going to show you much. Every time I start recording, this happens, I swear. So you're pushing up here, you're trying to fight them. I don't really know where your team is right now. I see one. Torb goes randomly super aggressive with his ults. That happens. Okay, so guys, if you're playing, actually no, I'm just gonna play. If you're playing Ana, don't nano boost the second you get ult. You need to have some sort of reason to use the nano boost. You cannot just throw it and expect them to do work. You need to put them in an advantageous position before it fights so that you can do something. So you had your ult here. Use, apparently D.VA's OP at this rank as well, I've noticed, is So they knock you on a mech, but you're on point. So using your ult on point as D.Va is always a good thing. It's never a bad time to use your ult when you're on point. Defending, because if they don't have Reinhardt, they're either going to die or get off point. If they do have Reinhardt, you're going to shadow the Reinhardt shield, which is still effective for your team. So you get a nice hold there. You're kind of waiting here. On this point, guys, you can try. So depending on the team you have, you can hold at the choke, but sometimes your team requires you to hold farther back. I'm actually okay with that. So I'm assuming you're trying to be a sneaky D.Va here, and this is kind of effective until their entire team notices, and now you need to fly out. Like, the problem is you don't have team support, you cannot get Ana to heal you, you have no help in that room. So the problem being a sneaky anything is that you need to be able to escape if your sneaky tactic doesn't work. So like, Reaper can do it, Tracer can do it, anyone who can get away safely on their own are the people that can get away with those sneakier tactics. Like D.Va you could, because you can fly out, you chose not to. So you didn't fly out, but you could have, definitely. Coming onto point here, you're trying to block the, okay. So if you're, I'm going to show this. Because this is good if you want to play D.Va. D.Va is really good at one thing, and that's denying ults. So right here, you have 1, 2, and the big threat is the McCree right here. This is your big threat. Because he's popped on you and he wants to peek around the corner and either zone or kill people. So if you sit where you are right now, you can even move forward a little bit into him and just hold your defense matrix. You have some time on it. You can block anything McCree throws. Doesn't matter. He can't do anything. He's not going to hit anyone behind you because this, realistically, going back, this is going to block out everything going this way and everything going this way. It blocks out the entire line of sight he has because he's now can only focus right here, and that's where your defense matrix is. So coming up to him as D.Va, this is good. You can use this on Soldier if you're playing D.Va as well, as you can fly at a Soldier and you can block his entire ult with your defense matrix. So you want to be doing that. Don't step off to the side. There's no point in doing that. Luckily, he didn't pick up any kills. So now you need to back off. So D.Va, yes, is good at diving, and she has the ability to be a very good disruptive tank, do some damage, force people to different spots. But she's a lot like Winston, in that you need to be effective with when you're going. So anyway, you get nano boosted here. You need to be pushing hard. It took you a little long to get going with the nano boost, but you did end up pushing in, which is good, and you pick up the kill on the Reinhardt, so that's fine. I always say thank you to healers. I've never had a problem with that. Once again, you're using your defense matrix kind of randomly when you're not taking damage. You should be using it like when he has reflective. Don't use defense matrix. Don't waste the cooldown, because defense matrix is so good because it doesn't have like a. It's not like Reinhardt, where it once again you're chasing kills. And yeah, you pick up the kill, and yeah, you can get away with it, because even if you die here, you technically have spawn advantage. You still don't want to chase kills like that, because if their team's really coordinated, they're gonna rush as soon as you die. Even if you trade 1-for-1, they can still rush. So you want to try and not do stuff like that. Chasing kills is never really a good option in my opinion. So you end up dying out there. You pushed up too aggressively. When you're on defense, never push out that aggressively, guys. It's not worth the kill. It never is. So back to my point about Reinhardt shield versus D.Va defense matrix is that defense matrix is timed only. There is no anything to try and stop that. Like, you can put as much damage down as you want and it won't matter. It still does the same thing. You throw your ult kind of pointlessly here. So when you get into fights, guys, especially when they're hard contesting the point and you've lost 1 or 2 people, go in with D.Va, fight, do as much damage as you can on point, absorb, stall as long as you can, and then right as you're about to lose mech, or as you're losing mech, then you pop your ult on the point. So you force them to push back, you get another mech for free, and it gives you an advantage because you have pretty much 2 full lives there when you die with ult on point, because then you can pop it, do it again, go through an entire second mech. So it can be very effective for stalling tactics. But so you push up here. You defense matrix to try and block some damage, even though you can't block Zarya, but that's okay. You blocked a bunch of other damage. You're back fighting your team now, which is really good. This is where you want to fight. Targeting the Reinhardt shield is never a bad thing with D.Va, because you can do a lot of damage to the Reinhardt shield at close range because of those automatic double shotguns. You get powered up. You need to push into this room, which you do. So target selection is one thing you can definitely focus on, and at lower elos, guys, target selection is huge. You switch late here and you go to the Mercy, but that should immediately be your first target. Healers are always first targets, guys, unless it's Lucio, which you don't have to make a first target, but usually you should. Always make your target prioritization on healers, because healers, like, if you only focus the Zarya, you'll never kill her. Even if you're nano boosted as D.Va in close, you will not kill that Zarya because she has Mercy right with her, keeping her healed, and you will lose that battle. So anyway, you guys held off. It's been very scrambled and just kind of people throwing stuff wherever. Mei is trying to stall when there's 10 seconds left. That happens. So you guys are fighting on point. You guys are as a team, which is good. They haven't come in as a group yet. Genji goes in solo right here. So, okay, I'm going to show the clip and then I'm going to rewind. Okay, so yes, using your D.Va bomb to zone is very good. But at this point right now, as soon as this happens, okay, instead of looking up, keep shooting, keep fighting down here, keep shooting, whatever's in your crosshair, keep firing. And if they come in a full-scale fight, you can go back to the thing where once you lose mech, pop the ult, the zoning ult still, and then get another mech, do it all over again. Because D.Va does not always have to use her ult to kill people. It can be used as a super effective zoning tool, especially on control maps. So instead you stare up and they don't even make it to point, and your ult might have killed 1 or 2 people, but it would have been better to just zone up point as needed. Every time I start these recordings, guys, I swear I start yawning. I don't know why. It's like, what time is it? It's 8 o'clock at night here. Apparently I'm an old man now. So overall, not a bad first round. You did some good stuff. You got to work on your defense matrix usage. There's some major chasing issues that you ran into there, but that's okay. So you guys are resetting like the standard. Oh, you guys are actually going to have 2 tanks, which is good. So it's only a triple DPS comp, but that's okay. Still going to be tough. Guys, if you ever have to make that choice, and in my opinion, this is how it always should be. If you get into a game and you're flexing and you have a tank, 1 healer, and 3 DPS, go with a second healer. In my opinion, having 2 healers is way more effective than having 2 tanks. Like, yes, 2 tanks is good, 2 healers is good, but having 2 healers keeps your team alive so much more. So go with the 2 healers over the 2 tanks, because that's going to be more effective to serve your team. So I'm going to speed this up real quick and get into the next round. So you guys are coming out here. First point choke on Volskaya is very tough. You make a choice here, and you know what? This can work, and I'm definitely not going to say no to it. Flanking with D.Va can be effective, especially when people are really spread out, like at this level, and communication is not very high. You can definitely get away with getting in the back line, killing some flankers. I would not just go to point here. Yes, you're going to pull them back, but you can get out, but I would have looked for a kill and tried to force something. But instead, you forced a point, your team picks up a bunch of kills. You need to get off. So defense matrix, you still need to work on that. You're using it really in inopportune times, I feel. It's just kind of, you use it just because you're not really using it to effectively block damage. And that's what you need to focus on. You need to focus on effectively blocking damage, because that's huge. Because, like, the one thing with Defense Matrix that no other ability can do is, like, you can eat Zarya ults, you can eat Mei ults, you can eat you can eat so many ults, like, so many huge game-changing abilities you can eat. So that was really good use of Defense Matrix. You blocked a bunch of damage, you want to push in. You're a little ahead of your team here, though, and you're going to get walled off and caught out here, yeah. So, that's okay, you're still alive, which is good. Pick up a nice kill on Mei. You won't scare mech back, so you actually did a pretty good job, as long as you don't get hooked here. Don't push on the hook. So guys, remember, whenever a Roadhog peeks, he's usually going to have hooks, so be prepared for that always. Always be prepared for the Roadhog hook. So right there, okay, so you do change, okay, good. So you always need to focus the Mercy whenever you can. Defense Matrix right away, because you can Defense Matrix all of Roadhog's ult quite easily. So that was another use of, like, yeah, I know the Mercy was really low and you wanted to get on the Mercy, but you're never going to get to it with that Roadhog standing in front. So you need to just absorb the ult and carry on. So your team's still staggering deaths. I'm having a hard time talking about team usage in this game, guys, because there really isn't any team coordination. It is very everyone do their own thing, which is fine and it can work. You just need to be effective at what you do. So you pop ult. So okay, I'm going to talk about this for a sec. I'm just going to go back. They don't have a Reinhardt. No, they don't have a Reinhardt. So maybe this doesn't work, but one thing you can do here is that, so right here, the EMP goes off, you're sitting on your ult, you can throw this up and ult over the top. Because what that does is that if they had a Reinhardt now can't shield it, which they didn't, so it'd be more they have to hide now. So that would immediately give your team the advantage that you can push in with who's in there, because you do have 3 members in here. I see 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you have 3 in there, so you can push in after you use your ult, jump back in your suit, dive in there without. Because Sombra ult can definitely make D.Va ult really effective. I think you choose not to here for some reason. You ping the U of ult when you definitely could have used it there. Well, that's okay. So anyway, so now you use it. That's really late, and okay. So where are the D.Va ults? We're gonna go over some D.Va ult usage right here. So you pop, you have ult, that's fine. You come in here. Okay. So looking at this right now, there's 2 people on point. Roadhog's over here, and you don't know where the other 3 people are. So you're short 3. So you launch this ult up and drop it on the back of the point. Now that's good for zoning if your whole team's there. Instead, what you could have done is go here and focus Roadhog, or you can push up and help out with your 2 teammates who are right here and deal with the Mercy and the Soldier. Roadhog's out of the picture, so I would not go after the Roadhog. We're going to go to orange and just cross this out. So leave the Roadhog, help out your team, fight these 2, fight on point. Because later you do it, you use your ult as a zoning tool on point instead of just trying to get kills. So you throw it up, and it's not super effective because of where it was thrown. But that's okay. So you jump back in mech. You focus the Mercy, which is good. You need to work on your tracking still. Focus the Mercy, good. You change. You're focusing the important targets, which is good now. You weren't originally, you are now. So you get the kill there. Defense matrix, this is good. Stop the soldier damage. So you looked for a sec, but you're still someone's contesting still, and you haven't turned around to look behind you. The other thing you are not doing is using your mobility as D.Va to your advantage. You need to focus on using your D.Va mobility to your advantage, because you seem to use your mobility to get back, but you never use it to get up to flankers like that Widow that was up top, or to fly out of the May Blizzard or anything. You're using only your mobility to get back, but not using your mobility to move around. And that's what you need to do, is you need to be more effective using your mobility as D.Va to get to high ground, to get to other areas, so you can be a nuisance and do as much damage as possible. So that's another thing I would definitely focus on, is using your mobility here. So you push up, Roadhog hooks you, you can't block that. You also need, if you're going to play D.Va, you need to learn how to, what you can and can't block, because you put up a defense matrix there and you don't really have any way to block that. So your defense matrix in here, you haven't got any healing, so that really sucks. You're probably going to die here. You should. Should? Wow, you got your ult back really fast. You need to pop back into your suit. So now you've seen a Bastion in the kill feed. So D.Va's actually extremely good against Bastion, guys. So always remember that you're very good. Defense matrix, defense matrix. I know, guys, it's greedy to look for that because you want to try and get that Roadhog that's super low. But guess what? You're never going to kill him when he has ult. When he's using ult, you're never going to get that kill. You've got to put up the defense matrix, protect yourself, protect your team from all that damage. Because that does, I think if I read a stat somewhere, that does 5,000 damage over the duration if it hit every single bullet hit. And on D.Va, you're going to hit a lot of bullets. So that's like, maybe like, that's what, 6 times your mech? More than that. It's a lot of damage, let's put it that way. So you have your ult again. It still continues just fighting and trickling everywhere. So you know D.Va's, okay, so this is, we're going to talk about situational awareness a bit. I'm going to show this. Both for you and your team. So you almost have ults here, you want to use ults. I know that, that's fine. So you see D.Va get hooked. So you saw the hook go by. Now look, okay. You saw your May get hooked from here over here to here. Now she is shooting into this room. There is a Roadhog in this room. So instead of doing this, what you're doing right now, turn, go into the room, help the May, kill the Roadhog, get an advantage, and then push out to point. So knowing where people are is huge. Because instead, you back up for some reason when May dropped ult. That Roadhog's still in the room to your right. and no one's looking at him, and he just got frozen for a long time, and he comes out, he hooks you out of mech. So, that's awareness you need to work on, definitely, because getting that kind of awareness and knowing where people are is huge. Pick up a nice kill on the Mercy. I think you almost killed the Mei, too. That Bunny Blaster, too strong, man. So, you can jump back in suit. Yeah, you jump back in suit. No, that's fine. Defense Matrix. You lost a lot of suit damage right away. Holy Nina. But this Roadhog is causing you a lot of problems. Now he's dead, finally. But he was causing you a lot of problems. Once again, using the ult just because it's there. You do pick up 2 kills with it, which is really good. But you need to be a little more effective with your ult timings. Another thing there is that if you turn around, if you're facing a team as D.Va and you jump back into suit, they actually can't kill the baby D.Va. Like, he ended up killing baby D.Va because you didn't turn around. Your suit might have actually blocked the shot. But that's just a little thing. That's fine. So, ult usage is something you really need to focus on, especially with how long it takes to charge ults right now. You need to use your ults effectively. You need to try and combo them with something. Unfortunately, you don't really have anything to combo with here. But, once again, you're flying into, like, you got the ult, you should have been flying in right away, getting in their face, because that is where you're most effective. It's close range. So, this is good to try and focus the Bastion out of his tank form. You guys are kind of screwed, I'm not going to lie, and you do end up dying here, I think. Do you not? Should. Oh yeah, you're definitely dead. So that happens. He popped ult. You guys are... One thing you can try and do, guys, is try and get your team to group up. Like, you can try your best. I know it probably won't happen. You can try and get them to group. At this elo, I understand a lot of you are like, well, my team just doesn't group even when I say it 10 times. Yeah, that's going to happen. So you just have to make the best of what you got and do the most you can individually. So, you're coming back in. Your team just got a pick. Anna's in deep. You guys are throwing ults. Yeah, good. Push in, push in. Wonderful. You guys got some kills. Kill the Mei. So you need to be shooting still. You need to stop shooting there. So you get up here. I like what you're doing. You want to get up here because you want to throw your ult to zone once you guys clear the point. And you just throw it. So this is really good. So this is a good use of your zoning ult. And I'm going to show why this makes D.Va ult super effective and it doesn't need to get kills, guys. D.Va ult is such a strong zoning tool. So as soon as you pop it, I'm going to show you why. If you guys didn't already know. I'm assuming a lot of you probably do know what I'm talking about with this. So pop ult right here, and this is really good use because this ult, no one can come in here at all. Unless they have a Reinhardt shield. Unless there's a Reinhardt shield here. I'm going to make that a Reinhardt shield. That's a Reinhardt shield now, right? Unless there's a Reinhardt shield, no one on their team can touch the point. Because they'll die if they walk on the point. Unless they have a Zarya barrier, but 9 times out of 10, they cannot walk on the point. And this ult gives you guys the point here. Like, everyone's dead right now, but the zoning was there and it would have been great. Everyone died before it could have been used, but the zoning was still great. So you're trying to force. You need to be a little bit quicker with that defense matrix. Using your mic and awareness, guys, that's huge. I know I see a lot of people doing this, and I feel like you guys don't have headsets or you're listening to music. You're doing something else, guys. When you're playing, always have listen to the game, nothing else, because you can hear footsteps. There's so many cues that are like with sound in this game. Like if you're deaf, obviously it's different, but I'm gonna assume that no one that's watching this is deaf. So you need to always be listening to the game and nothing else. Learn the in-game sounds. They're huge to learn. They're so important and so impactful to understand the game. So overall, it was a good win. You played some really good D.Va. You had some really good points. You had some really bad stuff that you did as well. But that comes with learning, getting better at the game as you play more. So overall, biggest things, guys, especially with D.Va, be effective with your ult. Use it as a zoning tool if you need to. It doesn't have to be going for kills. Try and coordinate with your team as best as you can. I know it's harder at lower levels, but you can definitely try and always coordinate it. Defense matrix, learn what you can and cannot eat with it, like beams like Zarya, Mei, you can't eat or you can't block at all, they'll go right through it. And know when to use it, because you used it very liberally when you could have used it at better times that could have helped yourself or your teammates. So defense matrix use is something you can definitely practice, is making sure you're like, when you pop defense matrix, it tells you how much you reflected or absorbed. Use that number to kind of get an idea of like, okay, well, I got like +5, so I didn't really absorb a lot of damage, not the best use. Or I absorbed +20, great use of it. understand and try and get in the habit of using it at effective times. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. If you like or dislike the gameplay, I always like to hear criticism on what I'm doing. And I'm always trying to make you guys better. Have a great day.